Calling the Precinct just another police sim really doesn't do it justice. So let me show you instead. The immediacy of this cruiser backup call-in. Arresting a drunk driver, calling him back up to take her back to the station, only for her to be run over by another drunk driver. Man dives into fence. Arresting a band's frontman while fans continue to queue for the show, which is definitely still happening. Rolling up to a mugging and my partner immediately shooting the victim and then saying moments later,
"Damn it, victim's deceased."
Two female construction workers robbing an X-rated movie shop. Arresting a man outside the police station, leaving him to be picked up by another squad car, coming back hours later to find him still standing there, escorting him to the police station myself only for this to happen. And then after the ensuing chase, arresting Woodrow Woodward. Why, Mr. and Mrs. Woodward, why? The Precinct is constantly weaving this absurd narrative through pure random chance. It manages to split the difference between a quality police sim and a Looney Tunes factory, and it is absolutely glorious. Here you are rookie police officer Cordell, whose dad was RoboCop or something.
Scanning Dick. He died of too many drugs. Tragic.
As every cop you meet can't go 2 minutes without telling you how great your dad was, before turning around to you like, but I guess we'll have to make do with you, Rook? Each in-game shift gives you a few different options, from patrolling on foot, issuing parking tickets, and violating citizens' civil liberties, to cruising around in your patrol car, answering dispatches and being a general menace to society, or taking to the skies and aggressively shining a spotlight at criminals. Through your patrols, you'll over time uncover evidence to arrest gang leaders and take on these missions, which often lead to a shootout on a rooftop. Occasionally your patrols may be interrupted by homicide detective duties, which somehow makes murder feel pretty mundane and might be the least exciting activity here. This is clearly building up to a final showdown with a big bad, which I haven't gotten to yet, but my money's on your sidekick Kelly. He just seems like the murdering type.
Victim's deceased.
When on patrol, the city is a pretty chaotic place with crimes sometimes overlapping. There's really never a dull moment here, with arrests quickly turning into shootouts, issuing parking tickets turning into high-speed chases, and chases turning into opportunities to make offerings to the great god of the deep, Cthulhu. The game controls really well too, blending vehicle and on-foot action seamlessly. Sometimes there's a few different options in one spot, and having one action button for all those different actions can cause a few headaches. But with the shooting and driving all so slick and so fun, these minor inconveniences rarely stick with you. Throughout your crime-fighting career, once you apprehend suspects, you then assign crimes to them in great depth, with extra XP earned for correctly identifying crimes, and minuses for just making stuff up. The game can be a little picky here and won't let you say charge someone for a hit and run, even though I clearly saw it happen. No, that just falls under evading arrest. From this XP, over time you level up and unlock new patrol types and initiatives, new vehicles and weapons. For each level up, you receive points to put into unlocks for stat upgrades and things like new backup types. The core gamification of police work is handled really well. The AI here is really weird and swings between sensibly following orders to whapping out an AK over a littering ticket. But the driver AI can be especially stupid, with one poorly parked car bringing the whole city to a standstill while drivers refuse point blank to just go around. Your partner's AI is pretty broken too at times. Kelly struggles with often the most basic of things like getting back into the car, which the game will warn you to wait for him, but then he will just Matrix Reloaded his way back in, so it doesn't really matter. The most frustrating element in the game, however, is Authorised Force. Authorised Force exists in 3 levels: yellow, orange, red. Red is easy, red is dead. But yellow and orange are a little funky. I've hit a yellow level perp with a car before with no penalty, but then a game over when I pop out and tackle them. I've shot my taser one too many times at a perp that was shooting at me and got a game over as they surrendered between shots. I feel like any fleeing perp, you should be able to break out the old taser, but no, you have to catch up and do that tackle that's, really cool but derpy, but still I like the derpiness of it. But it feels like the taser has a very narrow use case scenario. They have to be an especially naughty boy to get zapped. I'm just not too sure how you hit orange from yellow, and I find it's a little bit too unforgiving given the chaotic nature of the game. This would be so much better if it just penalized you in points for excessive force, rather than shutting everything down. Maybe save that for horrendous violations of unauthorized force, like just randomly shooting civilians. But yeah, it can be really annoying. However, it does respawn you pretty immediately, but I just find it hurts the flow and it's a little bit immersion breaking. But my negatives pretty much end there. I love the wild, over-the-top physics, the presentation and the atmosphere is superb, with different weather effects rolling in, the very 80s style TV cop show music with splashes of rock and synth in it. Walking a beat while synth music just fills the scene is absolutely sublime. While I hate the game over screens, they, along with the end of day menus, have some really solid procedural TV cop show style stings musically that just add to the vibe. Overall, the Precinct is just a ton of fun. The few issues don't come close to overshadowing a game that I just spent hours cruising around in. I still have a good bit of story to go, some bits to unlock, but I think I've got a good taste of what this game has to offer and feel comfortable giving it a proud, strong endorsement. If this all sounds like your jam, check it out on Steam. But what professions would you like to see a more quality game built around? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe while you're there. If you've made it this far, you kinda owe it to yourself. It's good to be back. I will be continuing a particular series of videos soon, but until then, take it easy, have a wonderful rest of your day, week or month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Central, suspect is neutralized.